Hey guys, welcome back to the Socially Awesome channel. Elise Smith here. I am so excited today to be talking to you about 5 simple and effective ways to humanize your brand with social media. So, this was something that I focused a lot on previously in my role in corporate because, as you know, I was with a quick service restaurant industry, a franchise, and something that a lot of people don't realize is when you're a part of a franchise, you still have someone you have to answer to. You still have to answer to the brand. So, very often, you are going to get requests from the brand. You have marketing from the brand. You've got a lot of stipulations you have to follow, a lot of rules, guidelines, logos, branding, things like that. And what people don't understand is the brand does most of the marketing for the product, whatever you're a franchise of. So if you're a franchise for McDonald's, McDonald's is going to market the hamburgers, period. But the franchisee's role is to market the jobs. How do they fill their stores with people to provide the service? So even as a small business owner, as a solopreneur, as a coach, a life coach, a consultant, you have to find ways to market yourself. So you are marketing your opportunity, your services, just the same way that I marketed jobs previously. So we call that humanizing. So, how can you humanize your brand? How can you have people want to partner with your brand through social media? And it's become easier than ever by using social media. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And you're going to see this from me the entire month of May. I've come to a realization in my own brand that it is a passionate topic for me about how can we make things authentic. I usually come on, pretty casual in my office here with all my lights and all my wires and in a t-shirt and sweatpants because I keep it real, relatable, raw, authentic, and I want you to do the same because you can see all of those results without having to fake it till you make it. So all of May we're going to be talking about humanizing your brand on social media, and that's why I decided to make the last episode of April also talk about that so we can kind of preface what you can expect from me. So today we're going to talk about these 5 tips. And then in May, we're going to break down each one individually. So make sure that you have subscribed to the podcast, the YouTube channel, you're following on Facebook, or you're inside the group, Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs, where we do weekly tips, tricks, and trainings to help you with your business online so that you can make sure you get all 5 of these episodes. So highly recommend that you stay plugged in because it's going to really help you reach that ideal avatar and see the results in your business that you're looking for. So, the first is find your unique voice and maintain it. So, a lot of people don't understand what it means to have a unique voice. Yes, we all have a certain sound, we all have a certain lingo, right? We all have, I say y'all. You might say you guys. You depending upon where you are in your business, where you are geographically, what culture you're in. Everyone has a unique voice, but it doesn't match your brand's voice. Are you marketing someone else's brand? You can't use your voice to market someone else's brand. So you really have to understand how to have a social media voice. So one of the unique aspects that you need to understand is slang or different signatures of a brand voice. So you very often will see me and my team. If we respond to you on social media and we use the word awesome, you tell us something super cool and we're like, oh, that's awesome. We're going to spell it AUSOME. That's branding and that's our brand voice. I actually have people that know my brand voice so well that they will message me occasionally and say, "Was that you or was that your team?" And that's pretty unique that they know that wasn't me. Now that's a pain point in my business that I'm working on because I want everyone that works for my brand to be able to speak as my brand, but that means I've gotten my voice out there and I want you to be able to do the same because that's how you're going to connect with other people. So your voice will have a tone. So you're either going to be a bold brand, you're going to be a soft brand, you're going to be authoritative, you might be casual, you might be formal. That's what you need to figure out. And I'll give you a good example. The Honest Company. I don't know if you ever heard of the Honest Company. I purchased some of their products when my children were much younger, but their social media voice is like an excellent example of what I'm talking about. They infuse a lot of honesty and humor in their captions and quotes. So the name of their brand is Honest. So giving you that real, honest truth about products, what's in products. They use that in their captions and their quotes, and that's built that know, like, and trust factor between them and their audience. So they're trying to showcase how they have a real understanding of a parenting struggle. So you'll often see parenting fails and things like that in their brand too, because they're like, let's just be honest, it's a shit show, right? So literally sometimes because they sell diapers and wipes, but you get what I'm saying. So tune into their brand and check it out and get some good examples. They were just one doing my research that I saw and was like, you know what, this is pretty cool. I would definitely recommend following them and watching how unique it is. So the second tip is to put the spotlight on your employees. And I did a short form video about this last week, but something I've done with clients in the past and I'm still executing within my agency is putting the spotlight on your employees through testimonials. So we have something called Team Member Tuesday, where we actually interview team members about how they got started with the brand, what their career path might look like here, if there's something that particularly they stay around for, like why do you stay here? Why do you want to work here? This is really cool for recruiting. And to draw those people in to work for your company. But if you're not looking to hire people, it can also draw people in as customers. So this is one of the best ways because consumers know that your brand is real. They're getting to see you're revealing actual humans that work there. Again, this is transparency. They're seeing who's taking their money, who's dealing with their money, because ultimately that's what people want to know is what value are they getting out of what they're purchasing from you. And you're also keeping that transparency in front of them by letting them know that, hey, even my employees like working here. That's pretty important, right? So I was doing some research with Forbes magazine, and Cisco was a brand that they recommended following on Twitter that does a really good job of implementing this tactic. So they tell employee stories, they showcase the community behind the brand. They do really good behind the scenes content on Twitter. So if you're someone who's on Twitter, I'm not crazy active on Twitter. I'm not going to lie. It's not my jam. I'm there. You can search me, but that's about it. But if you're a Twitter person, go check them out. Go check Cisco out on Twitter and see what they're doing so you could get some cool ideas from them. All right, so I got to move a little faster because I try to keep these episodes under 10 minutes. So the next is working with social media influencers. So working with influencers is pretty useful in putting a human face to your brand. So you're utilizing other people's audiences, but you're also utilizing an audience that's built a know, like, and trust factor with their influencer. So if I follow, Pammy over here, and she's a beauty influencer and she's got hundreds of thousands of followers. She does tutorials for me. I know her work. I trust her. And she comes on and says, hey, my favorite foundation is made by XYZ. I trust Pammy, Spammy, whatever her name was. We trust her. So we go ahead and buy from that company, even though we don't know anything about that company, because we trust who they used to influence. So even with a small brand or a startup company, if you have a retail brand, a Shopify store, something like that, you can utilize influencers very easily by letting them get free product, make posts for you. You can pay for user-generated content. But I highly recommend looking at their audience, looking at their engagement rate, and making sure that you partner with the correct ones. I wouldn't want to partner with an influencer in the travel space if I'm selling, a product that doesn't align there. So make sure that you're working with influencers that have your target audience as their audience. Number 4, sign your social media posts. So this is pretty cool. You can also make social media interactions more personable by signing your posts. So if you have a team, this is something that I talked about a little earlier, that handles your social media, make sure that person adds their name to the post they create. Or if they're messaging for you, like if you get a message from someone who's not me, from my accounts, it's going to say, hey, Team Awesome here, and it will tell you. So that way it's building that transparency again, that they don't believe they're talking to someone who they're not talking to. Okay. And then lastly, acknowledge issues and mistakes. This is going to be the number one thing to humanize your brand. Humans make mistakes. We all make mistakes. You've got to be transparent about it, owning up to it, letting your audience know, hey, I messed up. I did XYZ. and it didn't go well. This is how we're going to make it right. Okay. Instead of a copy paste standard message from, that you use to respond to all of your customers, take a little time to personalize it. The same thing with like your Google reviews, your Yelp reviews, however your customers are contacting you, you need to make sure that you are humanizing your response to them. And then again, with Forbes magazine, they had a really good example in Wendy's Facebook page, for instance. Wendy's, the food restaurant, and they said you could see from the way that they respond to their customer complaints, they actually take the time to read each one. So this is something that you can really go study how they're responding to their customer complaints. So if you're someone who has a lot of reviews, a lot of comments, they might be negative, you need to acknowledge them. Let them know, hey, I'd like to handle this offline, but I do want to make it right. Please email me here. Just acknowledging those comments, other outsiders are going to see, oh, they actually care. They're responding, they're taking time, and they're more likely to do business with you, even if you admitted that you messed up. So these 5 tips will help you humanize your brand effectively on social media. They're super easy to implement. And in most cases, you won't even have to make a monetary investment. These are something that your team can implement right now. So if you're watching this on social or listening, make sure you take a screenshot. Tag me in your stories, Elise1Smith. My handle is below in the show notes, and I will make sure to share in front of my audience. If you got any value out of today's episode, please leave a review. It is the best compliment you can give, and make sure that you are subscribed so that you can hear all of our episodes coming in May, because we're going to break each one of these down individually. So see you guys next time.